You've probably heard a lot of gym advice, but let's be honest, most of it's complete rubbish. Today I'm ranking the most common tips that you'll hear in the gym, from great to completely useless and definitely avoid. And some of these might surprise you, so let's get started. Okay, so first up we have track your progress. Now, I probably don't need to tell you, this is very important. Would I say it's S tier? I think A tier. I think some people can get lucky and wing it and make the progress. So we'll go A, but it's very important. I remember when I first started tracking my progress, genuinely, the results I got were insane. Because up until maybe start of last year, I was just winging it in the gym. But then I got a coach, started planning and really tracking my lifts, and they went up a lot and I got bigger. I think sometimes it's very easy to think that we're pushing ourselves hard enough in the gym, but then if you're training and you look back at how many reps you got last week, if you're tracking your progress, you'll know how many you need to get this week to make sure you're getting, you know, you're increasing the intensity every week and progressively overloading. Track your progress. In fact, S. It's S. Let's be real, it's S. Okay, next, we've got no pain, no gain. Now, this is a nice saying. I feel like it's the sort of thing that you'd like to think is true. And it kind of is. Like, you need to feel the burn, but in terms of actual pain, you don't want to be feeling pain. That's bad. And sometimes if you're feeling pain, you're pushing yourself too much. But most people are not going to have that problem. I'm going to say that is C tier because I like feeling the burn. And you should feel the burn. And it should be a bit uncomfortable. So C because the burn matters. However, pain, you don't want that. Okay, next up we've got prioritize protein and sleep. That 100%, yes. It's obviously yes, let's be real, it's S. Protein and sleep. I mean, let's start with sleep. Well, actually, protein and sleep are both very important for recovery, okay? Very important. You need to be maximizing both to make sure that you're getting the most out of every session, because if you are going to the gym and killing yourself in the gym, but then you sleep for 2 hours a night and have 50 grams of protein a day, you're not going to make progress. Or if you do make progress, it'll be very, very slow. It's almost like there's no point maximizing your time in the gym unless your recovery is good. Protein and sleep 100% is very important, especially while you're cutting. I advise having 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein. That's what I always stick to. I think it's a safe guide, and that's always how I've maximized my gains. Sleep 7 to 9 hours a night, depending on who you are. That should be enough. And I take magnesium to help with my sleep, so that might be worth looking into. But yeah, protein and sleep, very important. Oh dear, we've got high reps for toned muscle. Oh my god. I'm going to try and be nice, but it's probably something your mum tells you. It's not true. You can't change the look of your muscle. Like, you get muscle maturity, so it looks a bit denser, but that's just an age thing. It's not like you're actually changing your muscle. Like, you can't grow a different type of muscle, if that makes sense. So all rep ranges build muscle, so high reps are not going to build toned muscle. Toned muscle comes from low body fat and having muscle. That's it. So high reps for toned muscle, it's got to be F. Let's be real, it's got to be F. It's a massive misconception. I think a lot of people who aren't, you know, avid gym goers think that's a real thing, but it's not. Okay, next, you need to train every day. Straight up, no. You don't need to train every day. If you train every day, you're not recovering. And if you're able to train every day, then you're not training hard enough, because you need days off. You need days to recover. So like I said, if you're able to go to the gym every day, if someone that you know is going to the gym 7 days a week, they are not recovering as well as they can be. They'll be making less progress than what they would if they're training hard for 5 days a week, let's say. I train 5 days a week. I think that's the upper end. I think 6 is borderline too much. I personally wasn't recovering from 6 days completely. 5 days a week, very good. Training every day, not good at all. So we are going to put that in E tier because it's not as bad as high reps for toned muscle. Like, it's not as bad as that, but it's bad. Okay, training abs to burn belly fat. Again, not good. Abs to burn belly fat. So it's a common misconception that if you train your abs more, you'll focus on burning the belly fat more. It's not the case. You can't spot burn fat. You can't train a specific area of your body to lose fat there. You just lose it where you lose it. So for guys, we often carry a lot of fat on like our kind of like love handles. So that's always the last place to go. So if you want to lose belly fat, chances are this is all going to lean out before your belly fat. Whereas girls, they often carry it on their legs. And so that's going to be the last part to go. However, what I would say is though, as much as you can't train abs to burn belly fat, if you train abs, that'll make your abs pop through the fat more. So I don't want to say this is completely... No, actually, what am I saying? It's completely wrong. You can train abs to get them to pop through more, but to burn belly fat, no. No. Okay, let's go with creatine as a game changer, because that's a creatine is a hot topic in the fitness community. I personally take creatine. I think it's very good. There's a lot of research to support that it is very good, so I do recommend taking it. Is it a game changer? No. It's gonna make 2% difference to your training. It just helps out. It's like, it helps your recovery. Apparently there's cognitive benefits from it. It helps you look a bit bigger. Personally, I haven't been off it for so long that I can't say exactly, but it's one of the most researched supplements. There's a lot of research to show that it is worth taking. As much as it's not a game changer, it's very good. I'm going to put it in B, because supplements in general aren't essential. They can help, they're not essential. Okay, training to failure. This is one that I actually kind of swear by. I think it's very important to train close to failure for every set. It almost feels like a waste if you're not training close to failure. But if you're doing this, you also need to do less sets. If you do 5 sets to failure, the last 2 sets are going to be just junk volume. So training to failure is very important. You want to be training to failure for a good 3 sets per exercise. And I mean, it depends what you're doing, though. If you're doing a heavy compound movement, don't train to failure, because you really won't gain much from doing that unless it's more than, say, 6 reps. But training to failure on a compound can kind of be dangerous as well. So isolation movements or lightweight compound movements like, say, dumbbell bench press, for example, yes, train to failure on them. Very important. You have to be training close to failure to build a lot of muscle. However, you don't train to failure all the time, because like I said, there's exceptions. So train to failure, we're going to go A. I think it's very good, but it's not quite S tier. Consistency beats perfection. You already know that's correct. That is 100% correct. I've said this a lot of times, but there is no perfect split. It doesn't really, to an extent, matter what you do in the gym. As long as you're showing up consistently and training close to failure, you're going to grow. Like, that's just how it works. If you do push-pull legs or you do upper, lower, that sort of thing, doesn't really matter. Whatever you enjoy and you stick to consistently, you're going to make more progress from. So that's one of those things where is that an S tier? Is that an S tier? What are we saying? Yeah, it's got to be S tier. It's got to be S tier. It's just, you can't argue with it. Okay, girls shouldn't lift heavy. Interesting. You know, there's a lot of girls that think that, oh, I'm not going to go to the gym because I don't want to get big and bulky. I don't want to turn... Like, I don't want to look all manly. Do you know how hard and consistently I have to train to look like this, to build muscle? You're not going to go to the gym and look like the Hulk. Like, it's just not going to happen. Plus, girls have lower testosterone than guys, obviously. So you're not going to build muscle at the same rate as a guy. And you're definitely not going to turn into a guy. The only girls that are looking a bit too bulky, in my opinion, are girls that are on, you know, stuff. You're not going to naturally look too bulky from going to the gym. It's just not going to happen. You will look better. Girls shouldn't lift heavy. Hard disagree with that. Yeah, it's got to be F tier. Let's be real. It's got to be F tier. Okay, carbs make you fat. This, it's kind of not wrong. Like, if you eat too many carbs, you're going to get fat. However, it's not specifically carbs that make you fat. It's just calories in general. If you have too many calories in general, you're going to get fat. But do carbs make you fat? No. You need carbs for energy. Do not cut out carbs. I do not recommend keto diets because carbs are really good for energy. Yes, you can get energy from fat and protein, but it's a lot slower to release. So 100% carbs do not make you fat. However, like I said, too many carbs will make you fat. So we're going to go D for this because it's not completely wrong, but it pretty much is wrong. Now, last up, we have muscle turns to fat if you stop training. Muscle and fat are 2 distinct tissues. They're completely separate. One does not turn into the other. You will lose muscle if you stop training, and you will probably gain fat if you stop training because you're not burning the calories. But in terms of muscle transitioning to fat, no, it doesn't happen like that. That's not how it works. That is just completely wrong. I can't put that in anything other than F tier. Okay, so that covers everything. Let me know if you disagree with any of these or if there's any more you'd like to add to the list. If there's anything you're not sure about, comment it below because we haven't covered everything here. If you'd like me to do another version of this where we add even more misconceptions or truths or whatever it is, let me know below. And hopefully with this video, you've learned what is very important to focus on in the gym and what's not important to focus on. If you came into this video thinking that abs burn belly fat, well, now you know that's not true. And if you came into the video thinking track your progress, yeah, definitely track your progress. Those S tier and A tier things are very important. Focus on those. The rest of it is less important. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you want any help in the gym, I do offer online coaching. There's a link for that below. If you'd like a bit of free help, I also have a 30 ways in 30 days to maximize your gym gains. There's a link below for that as well. But otherwise, hit subscribe and I will see you in the next video.